Hello again, this is Dr. Sandra Nadelson from Boise State University School of Nursing. I am here to go over the content for Module 2 with you. I hope that you were able to learn a lot from Module 1 and did well on the quiz. Once again, we will be going through this module, and at the end there will be another quiz for Module 2. I will say that some of the information from this module is a repeat from the previous module, but we feel that the information is important enough that saying it again and maybe saying it in a little bit different way will help students understand their responsibilities, particularly in this area. So this is on professional behavior, cheating, and plagiarism as a focus. And good news, it's a little bit shorter than the last. We're at about 45 slides. Feel free to print out these slides. You can use the slides when you take the quiz. Once again, you can't use your friends. And we're going to look on professional behavior with a focus on cheating and plagiarism. In this, once again, you'll have a quiz at the end, so you might want to take notes. The notes can be used, and hopefully you will be able to do well and then apply this information to your course and your life so that you'll do well and not have any negative consequences while you're in the program. Once again, the quiz is to reinforce the teaching and learning, and hopefully it'll help you understand the concepts. It goes over several questions on referencing to help make sure people understand it, and you should take this quiz before moving on to the other and get 100%, so review it and take it again if you can't. Once again, we're going to summarize the information about academic honesty and what that is and what it is in terms of it's a form of deceit, and it undermines the work of the student, according to Whitley and Keith Spiegel, who've done research on plagiarism. And also, it hurts the teacher and the institution in which plagiarism occurs. So why should we be concerned? According to these individuals, academic integrity and honesty are troublesome for many people. People who are concerned about it, parents, they wonder, is my child learning? Faculty certainly want to produce nurses that can function well, and if students don't learn the information, we are concerned about their ability to function as a nurse and also to pass that NCLEX exam, that exam that students take after they graduate. Other students may be concerned. I've heard a lot of students say, well, you know, it's no fair because cheaters are getting better grades and they don't have to study as much, and I agree with that. Administrators also agree that it is concerning when people don't act honest, and so does the general public, who wants a nurse that they can't trust. So other issues that relate to honesty is equity. Once again, the cheater might be getting a higher grade, and that really isn't fair to those who don't cheat. They also lose information. They're cheating themselves out of their learning opportunity by not learning that information and doing something that is unethical. Student morale can also be reduced when students are cheating. There's a lot of cheating going on. Both faculty and other students just don't feel very comfortable about the situation. And the reputation of the school can also be damaged. Word gets around within the state and even outside of the state that things may not be happening ethically within an institution, and that doesn't feel good to anyone. And we don't want our general public to lose confidence in the school, particularly School of Nursing. We pride ourselves in having very honest and academically upright students, and we wouldn't want to be known as a school where we graduate cheaters. According to Whitley and Keith Spiegel, the students admit to unethical behavior for a variety of reasons. And I will completely admit to a lot of pressure with good grades. There is pressure. Fortunately, once you're in the nursing program, the pressure is down a little bit. You know, it's not like when you're in anatomy and physiology and you have to get an A to get in the program. Certainly, we love everyone to get A's in all of our courses, but we realize that there are lives that people have, and you have to make priorities. We don't expect everyone to get all A's, and that's okay. There also is a lot of students who work a lot and have other responsibilities, so they don't have study time, or maybe they do have study time, but they have poor study habits and they don't learn well. A lot of people believe that everyone else is cheating, so I need to cheat because everyone else is, and I'll be at a disadvantage, and I disagree with that statement. Many people do cheat, but not everyone cheats, and it doesn't hold up a good excuse for me. Some people don't fear that they're going to get punished. They've heard, oh, all I have to say is I didn't realize I need to do that, or I forgot to. Really, according to the last PowerPoint, I mentioned you don't have to have an intention to cheat to be punished for cheating in terms of particularly plagiarism. If you copy other people's words and you don't reference, you could still be punished for that. Last thing too, procrastination. Oh, I didn't have time. I waited last minute because I had other things going on. Procrastination is not a good reason to cheat. Setting one's schedule, doing ongoing studying is really, really important and helpful. We do have free study skills classes here at Boise State through the academic advising group. If you have questions, let me know, or your faculty know, over that little brick building over by the sub is where that all happens. We also have test anxiety classes too, so if there's a problem with test anxiety, you can get some of that. That can help. More reasons for cheating: not understand what is expected in terms of plagiarism and other forms of cheating. For example, I didn't realize that was a problem, but hopefully now after you've seen the last module and you get through this one, you'll have a real clear expectation and understanding of what we need from you. Once again, along with procrastination, poor time management skills, not allowing enough time for studying. Not feeling that the homework is important to the learning. Some students feel like, oh, it's just busy work, I don't need to know this. And I know me as an instructor and the other faculty really work hard to make sure our assignments are important, that the learning that you're going to be getting while you're doing it is important. So please trust us that what we're having you do is meaningful and will help you as you go along. I mentioned also test anxiety. There are test anxiety classes. There's counselors downstairs that can help with test anxiety. Some people get worried that they're going to panic and they're going to forget everything, so they write the answers down and cheat in other ways because of test anxiety. It's really important to deal with that test anxiety early versus later. Whether you can get through the whole program and then still have test anxiety and you have that NCLEX to do. So if you have a problem, you feel like you have a moderate to severe problem with test anxiety, I recommend setting up some counseling meetings or going to the student services to get some test anxiety help. Definition for cheating takes many forms: copying homework from someone else, studying from a copy of a previous exam, or getting questions that are authorized from an exam. For example, you're in 4th semester and you have a friend that's in 5th semester. Hey, tell me what's on that exam. I'm worried about it. That's not okay. General concepts, all right, but when we're talking about information that other people would not have, in terms of, oh, question number 2 was this and that, or she asked like 5 questions on this or that and some 6 on this. That's not fair. Sharing content from tests with those who haven't taken the test. Many of your exams are going to be computerized and you're not going to all take them at the same time. So if you are taking one before another person, and you should not be sharing that information. I do know, and I've heard of students who go, okay, you take the test first this time, I'll take it first next time, and we'll share our answers. Not okay. We hear that and find that out, you very likely would be expelled from our nursing program. Cheating also includes not doing an equal amount of work in a group project, particularly in our 7th and 8th semester, but all the way through the program there are group projects, and one needs to take responsibility and do their own part of work and not put that on the other. Charting vitals or other things that really weren't taken or done is certainly an ethical one part of cheating. Another issue that comes up sometimes, students calling in sick for a clinical or test when they're not really ill. They're cheating themselves and their classmates, and that is not ethical. Cheating also can include one student letting another see their test answers during the test itself. Of course, that's not okay. Making up references for a paper, just pulling something that doesn't necessarily relate or just putting something down is not okay. And once again, as mentioned in the previous, not citing references in a paper when words were used from another person's work. That could be a book or the internet or some other paper. So it's important that students carefully think about what they're doing and why, and nursing students have a moral obligation to, first of all, act ethically yourself, but not look the other way when other people are cheating. It is your responsibility to do something. If there are questions about what is cheating and students should consult their faculty member to find out more about what's cheating and what's not. Some of the consequences cheating, and some of these were mentioned before, being given failing, that should be grade, not grade on an assignment, failing a course, being suspended from the program or BSU, and certainly being expelled from BSU and or the nursing program is a possibility for cheating. Some plagiarism confusion. Many people are confused about what plagiarism is. Each semester papers are turned in that appear to be plagiarized. I just heard of 3 faculty members talking yesterday. Is this plagiarism? Is this not plagiarism? I heard this is yesterday, some students talking in the hall, oh yeah, one of our classmates, he got caught cheating. This wasn't the same student, it was from the previous semester. And so cheating happens here in the nursing school, and most of the problems revolve, I think, about determining what needs to be referenced and not. I think some is intentional, but I know that some is unintentional. But once again, students still can deal with the consequences even if it was not intentional. Once again, some students aren't aware of what to include in references, and as a result, they don't realize they're plagiarizing, but they really are by not giving credit. Once again, even without intent, plagiarism is not acceptable, and students can be sanctioned because of that. So what is it? Plagiarism includes not citing a reference, having someone else write a paper, buying a paper online, and any other form of representing another person's words or ideas or thoughts as one's own. And of course, copying just right from a text in a website is not okay. Common knowledge. You don't have to cite things that are considered common knowledge. And common knowledge is things that most everyone knows. For example, you don't have to cite that bacteria can cause infections. Pretty much anyone knows that. But there are some things that need to. Riding a bicycle without a helmet can lead to serious injury. This is not earth-shattering news. Not many people are going to argue that you could be seriously injured without wearing a helmet. Certainly people go, I don't wear a helmet because I don't think I'm going to get injured. But really, since pretty much everyone knows you could get injured, even if they don't think they will, it's considered common knowledge, so that doesn't need to be cited. So, a statement that is not known by everyone, such as 320 children are seriously hurt each year in auto versus bike accidents in Cuidado County, must be cited. This is information the majority of people would not know. So it needs to be referenced. Another term for reference is cited. So how to cite? Sometimes you want to use direct quotes. And when you directly quote, you need to have the author's last name, but sometimes it's more than one author, the year of the publication, and the page where the quote was from. So you need to have the name of the author or authors, the page, and the publication date. For an example, Smith, 2005, reported 320 children are seriously hurt each year in auto versus bicycle accidents in Cuidado County, page 33. So it's got the name, the year, and the page number. Longer quotes are treated slightly different and in terms of than the smaller ones, and you should take a look at the APA manual. So you read through the nursing handbook, student handbook, you'll see that we use the APA style 6th edition for all the papers that are written here in the nursing program. Unless your instructor tells you elsewise, if you're writing a paper, it should have that. There is an excellent website, Purdue is a university. If you just go to Google Cite and say Purdue APA, you'll find their website, and they have amazing information. It's even better than buying the book. That 6th edition book doesn't have a lot of information, but the Purdue is excellent. So use that as a resource. Another time that you need to do citing is when you paraphrase. And paraphrase is using similar words, ideas, and thoughts of another author. And you need to cite that information. When citing something that is paraphrased, the author's name and the year of publication are given, but you do not need to put down the year for paraphrasing. Now, one of the issues that happens is people don't know, okay, is this a quote or not? Or if I just change a couple of words, I'm okay, I paraphrase, so I don't need to quote and I don't need to put the page number, but that is not true. When writing a paper, large blocks of text should not be paraphrased or completely made up as a quote. So it's important to support your claims, but the paper needs to have some of your own ideas. So, because I've seen some papers, it's like one quote, then another quote, and another quote, and the student doesn't bring the information together in with their own thoughts. It's good to do some citing and some direct quoting, but you don't want to have an entire page and a whole entire paper that is just quotes, and particularly exact quotes from someone else's. You need to bring in your own thoughts and your own ideas. That's part of what our papers are about. So here's a poor example of paraphrasing. The original text by Smith said, 320 children are seriously hurt each year in auto versus bicycle accidents in Cuidado. So the student thought this would be acceptable. This change, this paraphrase. In Cuidado County, 320 children are seriously hurt every year in auto versus bicycle accidents. Smith, 2005. Now if you notice, the only real difference in this is that they took the in Cuidado County from the end that was in the real quote, the initial writing, and put it at the beginning, but none of the words besides that were changed. That is not acceptable in terms of paraphrasing. That's a quote, and that should be quoted. That is not acceptable. Here's a good example. So let's say that Smith 2005 had written once again the same statement, 320 children are seriously hurt in auto versus bicycle accident in Cuidado County. Students' acceptable paraphrase then would be, children are injured every year in automobile versus bicycle accidents, period. In Cuidado County, 320 children were badly injured in this type of accident. So they're changing the words substantially enough that it's not an exact quote, and kind of moving the ideas around, but still representing well what the author is saying. So about plagiarism, hold yourself to high standards in the people you work with, particularly if you work with a group on writing a paper. Make sure that everyone in the group understands what it is to cite, and that they are too not plagiarizing the paper, because you may be accused, if the paper is written as a group and they turn in a plagiarized part, they may be questioned about that, and I wouldn't want that to happen. So from the previous module, you are going to be held to high standard here at Boise State. Plagiarism, whether intended or not, is not acceptable. And it's the student's responsibility to know what's correct and incorrect, and to cite and paraphrase. We do have a writing center here at Boise State. I hope you know where it is and have used it. So we're close to the library. And they're a good resource, and they can help you, along with that website I was telling you about, the OWL Purdue. Really great. Some other help for you. There are a variety of things that can help you reduce potential unethical behavior. Time management. Boise State offers free time management and stress management services. We have the Writing Center that can help you with writing skills. Also note-taking and test anxiety. Boise State Writing and Advising Center offer many classes to help, and this is their website, Writing Center at boisestate.edu. Once again, websites change, but if you put that into a Google search, you will find. Other resources, the APA manual style can be helpful. Boise State Writing Center, your faculty members, and other websites such as the OWL Purdue website can help you. When using APA, unless specified by your instructor, all of the research papers should be written in the APA format. To find out more about APA and the basics, there's a great video, and I recommend this YouTube. Kind of shows how to set up the basics and how to get your papers done correctly. So you'll need to know APA and set up the pages. This YouTube that I have here tells you how to set up your Word program so that your papers come out right and look easy. You just set it up once and then use it as a template every time you're ready to go, and it'll be right. So thinking more a little about students Responsibilities. These last two modules will focus on the individual responsibilities and acts of students in terms of ethics. I hope that you will be a role model to others, in particular your classmates, and as a future nurse, role model behavior to students and to other nurses that you work with in terms of ethical behavior. You, as mentioned before, if you do see cheating, you have a social and moral responsibility to act on that. You could talk to the faculty member, you could talk to Blaine Eccles in the Office of Students' Rights and Responsibilities. You could talk with the student. Hey, you know what, I saw you cheating and I don't feel good about that. This may mean talking them to directly or to your instructor about the behavior. Once again, here's the person, Blaine Eccles, Office of Students' Rights and Responsibilities, who can be a resource to you on this. It is possible that this person doesn't realize she's acting ethically, and so addressing that unethical behavior can really help that person in their own moral development and their professional development. So here's a hypothetical situation for you. You graduated, it's 2 years later. You are a family member you brought them into the emergency department for emergency care. Do you want to see one of your former classmates that you know cheated on an exam and plagiarized or plagiarized on paper be the primary care nurse? I know for me I wouldn't. So something to think about. For me, I don't think I would trust the life of a family member or myself to a person who I've known has been a cheater. So don't gamble on your future. Act when you see unethical behavior. It's each student's responsibility to understand what is expected and to act ethically. And students also need to act when they see unethical behavior in others. Here's some websites. Excellent information on plagiarism. This is from Hamilton EDU on plagiarism. You can put those words in the web and find lots of stuff. Okay, at this point, you might want to look back the video, re-listen to part of it, and audio, and look at the documents that relate to this PowerPoint, and get ready for Module 2 quiz. So again, you'll find it in the Google site. Just with the last quiz, it is okay that you refer to your notes and the readings and the slides and the websites, but it is not okay to take the quiz with someone else or get answers from them. Here's a couple of references about academic dishonesty if you want to look further in that. And I hope you felt like you've learned something from this, and thank you very much. Bye now.